Welcome back. You're watching Choice 2017 here on KTN News. We are talking about the race for numbers, the second week of the second and final phase of the mass voter registration exercise by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. They are targeting between 4 to 6 million new voters on the voter register, and we have seen both sides of the political divide, the politicians, political figures going out into different parts of the country, traversing different parts of the republic to mobilize Kenyans, especially in their support bases, to come out in large numbers and register as voters. Earlier today, the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, did visit several places, including Laikipia County, as well as the county of Nyeri. Over the past few days, of course, he has been visiting several areas in central Kenya, calling out to his supporters, calling out to Kenyans to register as voters in readiness for the August 2017 general election. All right, so the president in Nyeri earlier today. Brian, is the president going to visit other parts of the country which are not his strongholds? And I'll ask the same of the opposition leaders.
You know, before the president went to Central, he was in Mombasa. And he's in Rift Valley. He'll be going to Western. The president has been all over. And you see, when you're leaving your house, you can't come from your neighbor's door. You have to use your door and go to other areas. So he's coming from home, going to other places.
All right.
Yes.
What about the opposition leaders? Is the target, what is your plan? Is your plan just your traditionally areas where you have had a lot of support, or are you going to visit other areas? Or is there apathy in any of your support areas?
You know all that we are largely accepted countrywide, unlike our friends in Jubilee. Therefore, you expect that we'll walk to every place, to every province, to every constituency in this country. We are more inclusive than Jubilee. Therefore, we expect that we are accepted all across the country and will be there. My party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, is in Mombasa today. He will be in Kwale, Kilifi, Mombasa.
Will you go to Murang'a?
Definitely, we are anticipating to get to Murang'a, despite the fact that the president has already set a stage that the person is fighting with is Raila Amolo Odinga. But we'll go to Murang'a, we'll go to Kiambu, we'll be there. We'll let them wait. They'll see that we'll be there.
All right. Prof, according to where you stand, all these political leaders, the president, the court leader, his co-principals in the opposition, from what you've seen in the last 1 week, who is doing it right, mobilizing Kenyans to come out and register as voters? Who is winning?
Generically speaking, at the moment, both camps are doing well, considering right now it's difficult to determine who is winning. Now, it's quite clear that the tone of the appeal is on the side of the president, has an element of desperation, all right? Then the tone of the leader of the opposition has an element of exaggeration. So both of them, one is struggling to survive, the other one is exaggerating to win. But if you look very carefully, in my opinion, that is what is happening at the political level. I would like to see the technical aspects of the election, of the electoral process, get much more attention. For example, when there was this issue of two people having one electoral card, like the vice president, the former vice president Kalonzo Musyoka. Now, I would like that aspect to be followed up so that we know that corrective measures have been taken, because that could have been just a mistake.
It's not a mistake.
Just let me finish. It could, I'm still communicating. It could be a mistake, all right? Or it could be a piece of corruption, all right? Now, if you ask the court people, they will tell you it's a piece of corruption because Jubilee has a fairly good map on how to do corrupt activities. Now, this does not mean that there are no people in corruption. So what I'm saying is that it is important that we look at the technical aspects of the electoral process. You can mobilize people, but if the process is not watertight and reliable, technically reliable, and politically, yes.
Very good point. Let's take a minute and put that into practice. What do you think about that issue, for instance, whereby Kalonzo Musyoka, the co-principal, found out that his ID number had been used to register somebody else?
Leave about even Kalonzo's ID Goran that had registered another person. There are people who did not vote in 2013. They went into the polling station, actually not polling, registration center. They found they had already done what? They did participate in the elections of 2013. Therefore, it's a whole system of Jubilee with the IEBC who are not keen in giving us, a service for the tax we pay. Therefore, it's a system that we know Jubilee. Up to yesterday, Jubilee leaders sent some boys who were beaten badly in my constituency, where they are picking ID numbers and centers for where they have registered, save for the police who came to save those boys that have been killed. Therefore, we're saying is that it's bad manners. Jubilee has bad manners, which it has to end. Some people must be sent to jail for us to know that, yes, Jubilee is serious about bringing discipline when they were in power.
All right, Brian, there was an issue that IBC said that SMS service was still being tested. But what is your explanation for the accusations?
First of all, I'd like to say Bushimo is lying here. How can you go and find out that you voted in 2013? Will you be given the ballot paper that you ticked, or how can you go and confirm you voted? Number two, it's not a coincidence. On what coincidence that the former presidential candidate, Raila Odinga, and his running mate, the IDs have been duplicated. And mark you, the 2013 register code people were in charge of registration at that time because it was the Prime Minister, the Minister for Migration was one of their own. Half of the commissioners were appointed by Raila Odinga in 2013. We've seen these things, like after the Supreme Court petition, their key lawyer, Kethi Kilonzo, was not even a registered voter. So these people are just talking. And I'm telling you, they're creating an environment to reject this election. This is their plot. We can see it from far.
What do you say to that?
Ben.
And another thing on the Dagoretti thing, Jubilee also, we are doing our membership drive. And for you to be a member of a registered party, we need your ID number and your details. There's nothing wrong with that.
You don't walk
and you see he's happy, people being beaten.
No. You see, there are two things. There is some economics.
All right.
I did some economics. Economics, there is a common principle which says that for a human being to give positive results, pain must be inflicted in them. That's a common principle in economics. What I want to say is that these guys, the Jubilee, including my constituents, you will get one person sharing the same ID numbers. I have a number of them. It's not only Kalonzo and Raila Amolo Odinga. It's a practice that I believe, this story of the dead, arising from the graves and come and vote is practical.
So you're saying that the IBC servers are prone to hacking until today?
It is. That's what they did. That's what they did in Kericho.
That means they can
even in Kericho elections. That's what they did.
But you see, these people.
And I want to let you know that we're not going to let them go.
But I'm telling them, voting is largely manual. So if you disagree with the transmitted results, go back to the ballot papers, count the ballot physically.
All right, let's move on.
I wanted just to tie it up now. Yes. For listening to these two gentlemen, I'm a very worried person because the initial point I raised was who is paying attention to the technical aspects of the process to ensure, that it's error-free. He didn't address them. If it's IBC that is responsible, I haven't heard anybody communicating specifically to IBC saying this particular aspect of your arrangements is underperforming, it's unsatisfactory. Can you please take corrective action within a given time?
For the IBC which is gone, the like of Isaac Hassan, those who are Jubilee malls, in office.
Appointed by Raila.
But
you
the
can
commission
appoint
was
them, but
appointed
you
by
can
both sides
another
of the
person will
political
pay
divide
them as they
in
did.
the
Jubilee
Grand
paid
Coalition
them.
government. All right, I want us to talk. We don't have all night. We have only like 4 minutes to go. Where does this? We have seen Raila Odinga go to Nyanza, try to rally supporters. Uhuru Kenyatta going to Central Kenya, William Ruto going to Rift Valley and Western. But where does this leave Nairobi? Mheshimiwa, you're a member of Parliament for Nairobi. Nairobi is almost 50-50 across political divide. What is your plan as your position for Nairobi?
Before Raila left for Nyanza, he was in Nairobi on Monday. It was on Monday.
One meeting, is it enough?
No. You see, we were in Kibra. Actually, they were at KCC. We were at Kibra, Dagoretti North, Westlands, then Kasarani. The following day, he did Makadara. Therefore, Nairobi for CORE, we are safe. We will challenge the President Uhuru also to come and tell us in Nairobi what he has for us, what he has done for us. Because we didn't have anything, as Raila to tell us what he has done for us. But the governor, yes, I know our governor is there, who has tried to do so much, despite the fact that the central government has not given money there is no collection. I've been in City Hall, I know the collection that they are talking about. They are critiquing.
Do you think the governor has performed well?
Yes, to some extent, of course, there are those who are saying he has not done anything, but he has done little to so much that he has received.
All right. Brian, what is your plan for Nairobi?
As you've said, politics is a game of numbers and strategy. If opposition were in Nairobi in the first week, we had to go somewhere else. It's still in our plan. As you can see, Nairobi is 50-50. Based on the number of MPs, we have 9, they have 8. MCAs, they have 43, we have 42. So it's purely 50-50. So our strategy is still in the kitchen. We won't disclose at this moment.
Prof, not a lot of new voters to be expected from Nairobi, according to the IBC, but what do you think are the emotions of Nairobians concerning the two sides of the political divide, even as they register as voters?
Very interesting. First of all, let me start with Kibra. When you go to Kibra, all right, Jubilee has done some work in Kibra. That is through the Ministry of Devolution. That's factual. It's not propaganda. I've been there. I was there over the weekend.
But exaggerated. There is nothing. It was a conduit of stealing of the public money through Kibra. Of course, that one we agree.
Right. But there are some results that can be seen on the ground, despite the theft and other things. Secondly, in my view, one of the things that is terribly disturbing is that the governor has appeared to have done worse than the guy who was in the City Hall in those days. Because you see, it's a question of perception. When you go to a road and it's full of potholes, you go to a neighborhood, it's full of garbage, you go to a place even where there was water, there is no water, it's very difficult for you to change the mind of that person. Nonetheless, what has happened here is that in Nairobi, the two groups each will dig in to protect what they have got.
So who will win Nairobi, in your analysis?
In my assessment, feeling the mood, the opposition has the edge. Now, the reason I say that is this. There is so much conflict within the Jubilee ranks at the moment about who should be taking what and who should be having what. In that process, they are losing a lot of time for paying attention to strategy, for deliverables, and for plotting to counter their opponents.
All right.
Now, there is something important I want to finish with. There is something that was not mentioned by both sides. Jubilee has got both the senator and the women's rep, which is an extra after the balance. Now, if CORD does not plot to try and get as much as possible out of those two, those are the ones that provide a troubling. Yes.
All right. Thanks, Prof. In 30 seconds, Mbugua, how are you going to win Nairobi?
Jubilee numbers in Nairobi, they are solid. For opposition, it will be determined if they'll remain united. I'm hearing this NASA, I don't know what it is, but the moment they start sharing position, trust you me, one will take the position of the other and the other will walk away. that will be the end of the united opposition. Right now, it's 7 months to election. We don't know their candidate, we don't know their running mate, and people are waiting.
All right.
Who will take this, and who will run away? So them is pegged on their unity.
Mheshimiwa, final thought, 30 seconds only. How are you going to win Dagoretti North and Nairobi?
NASA will have it. Of course, the Great North will have it back. Jubilee, be it that they were to unite and give us one candidate, we'll beat them in this game. The assurance is that Nairobi remains to be a code stronghold. Jubilee, I'm told they're bringing out people from out there into Nairobi, but we want to assure them that
I hear both sides are doing it.
From where? As where are we going to bring them from?
All right.
We are saying that from Kiambu they're coming, but we are telling them, hey guys, you'll come. We're sure we have more numbers. We have registered a good number this round up than even before. Therefore,
Thanks.
we want to assure that Nairobi is ours.
Both sides are confident. Thanks, Mheshimiwa Simbarat, Member of Parliament for Dagoretti North, Professor Itumbo, governance expert, and Jubilee strategist Brian Mbogwa. Many thanks, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. So we leave it on Choice 2017 on KTN News this Monday night. Many thanks. Be sure to join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as we dissect the big and most current political issues in the run-up to the August 8th, 2017 general election. I'm Ben Kitili. Good night and goodbye from me. Up next is Monday Night News with Yvonne Okwara Matole.